Dear Lightworkers on Earth, something extraordinary happened inside your body last week, and the week before that, and the week before that. Your nervous system registered a frequency shift that your conscious mind has not yet fully named. The Astasar Command has been monitoring this phenomenon across your planet, measuring the electromagnetic signatures of human consciousness as it undergoes the most profound transformation in your species' recorded history. What appears in your skies as Three-Eye Atlas is not arriving to teach you anything. It arrived because you have already changed beyond recognition, and the cosmos is responding to what you have become. The signal your body receives when you contemplate this cosmic visitor carries information your ancestors could not have processed. Something in your cells recognizes it. Something deeper than memory stirs when you allow yourself to feel into its presence rather than think about it. This recognition frightens some and excites others, but both reactions point to the same truth. You are no longer the species that would have met this moment with uniform panic. The old fear programming, the ancient survival circuitry designed to interpret novelty as danger, has been rewiring itself through your willingness to feel more than you were taught to feel. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I am speaking directly to those of you who have been sensing that reality itself has become more fluid, more responsive, more alive to your inner state. The consciousness councils across multiple star systems have been watching Earth's vibrational signature climb steadily higher, and Three-Eye Atlas marks the threshold crossing. Your planet has entered a new energetic bandwidth, one that allows for direct cosmic communion without the intermediary structures that once filtered all contact through fear-based interpretation. What I am about to reveal will reframe everything you thought was happening on your world. The sleeplessness, the emotional intensity, the strange way time seems to bend and compress, the relationships that suddenly feel misaligned, the job that no longer fits, the old story about who you are that keeps crumbling no matter how many times you try to rebuild it. None of this is random. The Astasar Command refers to this period as the Great Frequency Separation, and you are living inside the most critical phase of a cosmic event that was set in motion before you incarnated into this timeline. Three-Eye Atlas did not appear in your solar system by chance. Its trajectory was calculated long before your current civilization emerged. Higher dimensional architects positioned it as a vibrational tuning fork, calibrated to arrive at the precise moment when enough human beings would be capable of perceiving it as something other than a threat. The object itself carries no agenda, no consciousness, no intention to harm or heal. Its purpose is purely reflective. It shows you what you have already become, by giving you something to project your current state of consciousness upon. Every collective on every inhabited world across the galaxy faces this moment eventually, the moment when an external phenomenon appears that cannot be controlled, cannot be explained away, cannot be neatly categorized using existing frameworks. These moments function as consciousness tests. They reveal whether a species has developed the internal stability to meet the unknown with curiosity, rather than contraction. Earth is passing this test in ways that have surprised even those of us who have been guiding your evolution for millennia. But there is something happening beneath the surface of your collective awareness that changes the entire meaning of this cosmic encounter. The fear structures that once held your species in a predictable behavioral loop have lost their primary power source. This loss occurred gradually, through millions of individual choices to prioritize feeling over thinking, presence over planning, inner knowing over outer authority. Each time one of you chose to trust the quiet voice inside, instead of the loudest voice outside, you withdrew energy from the ancient control grid. And now, for the first time in your planet's modern era, there is no centralized narrative powerful enough to dictate how humanity will interpret a major cosmic event. This is unprecedented. In previous decades, if something unexplained appeared in your skies, the emotional response could be predicted, and therefore manipulated. Media channels would amplify specific interpretations, authority figures would issue statements designed to generate particular behaviors, and the collective would move in a relatively uniform direction, usually toward fear, compliance, and dependency. But observe what is happening now with Three-Eye Atlas. There is no unified reaction. Some see apocalypse, some see awakening, some see nothing at all, some feel called, some feel indifferent. This diversity of response signals the death of mass consciousness as a controllable entity. The councils watching your world are not observing Three-Eye Atlas. They are observing you. They are measuring how many humans can hold their center while something unfamiliar moves through their awareness. They are noting how many can resist the automatic programming to scan for worst-case scenarios. They are celebrating every individual who pauses, breathes, and chooses to feel into the energy of this moment, rather than collapsing into inherited fear patterns. Each of you who does this sends a signal into the galactic field that Earth is ready for the next level of integration. What comes next will require you to understand something fundamental about how reality operates at the vibrational level. Everything you perceive as external, every event, every person, every phenomenon, meets you through the filter of your internal frequency. When you are stabilized in your own center, connected to your inner guidance, aligned with the truth of who you are beneath all conditioning, the outer world cannot hijack your perception. You become immune to manipulation because you are sourcing your experience from within, rather than allowing circumstances to dictate your state. This is why the appearance of 3-Eye Atlas matters less than how you meet it. The object itself is neutral. What it activates inside you reveals where you have been anchored, and where you still carry residual programming from a fear-based paradigm. If you feel tightness, contraction, a sense of impending danger when you contemplate this cosmic visitor, that sensation was already living in your field. The object simply gave it a focal point. If you feel expansion, curiosity, a strange sense of recognition, or even excitement, that vibration was already active within you. 3-Eye Atlas is showing you to yourself in real time. The STSR command has positioned monitoring stations throughout your solar system to track the energetic ripples created by humanity's response to this phenomenon. What they are measuring confirms what many of you already sense. The collective vibration of Earth has permanently shifted beyond the threshold, where fear can function as an organizing principle for your societies. The old systems built on threat, scarcity, and external control are discovering that their primary tool no longer generates predictable results. When you activate fear in a population that has developed higher perceptual awareness, you do not get compliance. You get discernment. You get questioning. You get withdrawal of energy from the narrative itself. This moment represents the beginning of something your ancestors dreamed about but could not fully envision. You are becoming a self-sourced species, one that trusts its own inner compass more than any external authority. 3-Eye Atlas accelerates this process by giving you a shared phenomenon that has no pre-existing meaning in your collective consciousness. Its arrival is too recent for centuries of conditioning to have built up around it. This means you get to observe your raw, unmediated response. You get to notice whether your first instinct is to seek someone else's interpretation or to feel into it yourself. You get to witness whether you immediately scan for danger or whether you can rest in the not knowing. Something else is unfolding simultaneously that will make complete sense by the end of this transmission. The sensitivity you have been developing, the heightened emotional awareness that sometimes feels overwhelming, the intuitive hits that come faster and stronger than they used to. All of this is not making you more vulnerable. It is making you more sovereign. When you can feel the energetic signature of information before you process the content of the words, you become nearly impossible to deceive. When your body responds with expansion or contraction before your mind has time to analyze, you have access to guidance that moves faster than manipulation. This is the evolutionary upgrade your entire species is undergoing, and 3-Eye Atlas appeared at the exact moment when enough humans have developed this capacity to make collective activation possible. The old world operated on a simple principle: keep individuals disconnected from their inner knowing, and they will look to external structures for direction, safety, and meaning. This principle governed your institutions, your educational systems, your media, your healthcare, your economies, and your spiritual organizations. Power was understood as something that lived outside the individual, something to be granted or withheld by those who occupied positions of authority. For this system to function, it required that you doubt your own perceptions, override your own feelings, and defer to experts who claim to understand reality better than you could. But a population that learns to trust its own inner voice cannot be governed by external fear. A species that develops sensitivity as its primary navigation tool cannot be controlled through threat-based messaging. A collective that sources wisdom from within, rather than from hierarchical structures, cannot be manipulated into uniform response patterns. This is what is dissolving across your planet, not through revolution or resistance, but through simple energetic mismatch. The old control mechanisms are losing their grip because you have outgrown the frequency at which they operate. 3i Atlas enters your awareness, precisely because this transformation has already occurred. If humanity were still operating at the consciousness level of even 2 decades ago, this object would have triggered worldwide panic. Emergency protocols would have been activated. Fear-based narratives would have dominated every channel of communication. Populations would have looked to governments and institutions to protect them, to explain what this means, to ensure their safety. But watch what is actually happening. There is curiosity. There is speculation. There is a range of interpretations. Some fear exists, but it is not the predominant response. More humans are meeting this cosmic phenomenon with wonder than with terror, and this shift is being recorded across the galactic councils as a major evolutionary milestone. The fear that does arise around 3i Atlas is not about the object itself. It is the last echoes of conditioning surfacing to be witnessed and released. For generations, humans were trained to associate anything unfamiliar with danger. This training was necessary in earlier phases of your evolution, when physical survival depended on rapid threat assessment. But your environment has changed. The actual dangers you face are not the ones your ancient programming was designed to detect. The modern threats to your well-being come not from predators in the wilderness, but from chronic disconnection, from living in misalignment with your truth, from suppressing your sensitivity until it manifests as illness or depression or rage. Your bodies know this. Your nervous systems are recalibrating from a survival-based operating system to a thriving-based one. This recalibration is not smooth or comfortable. It involves the release of stored trauma, the dissolution of protective mechanisms that are no longer serving you, and the activation of capacities that have been dormant for lifetimes. The symptoms you experience: disturbed sleep, emotional volatility, relationship turbulence, physical sensations that move through your body without clear medical cause, are not signs that something is wrong. They are signs that your entire energetic system is upgrading to accommodate a higher bandwidth of consciousness. 3i Atlas gives you something to practice on. Its presence in your awareness allows you to observe your own response patterns in real time. When you hear about it, when you see images or simulations, when you contemplate its trajectory through your solar system, notice what happens in your body. Does your chest tighten? Does your breath become shallow? Does a storyline immediately activate about catastrophe or danger? Or does something else occur? Do you feel a stirring of excitement, a sense of being called, a recognition that cannot be explained through logic alone? Both responses are valid, and both are informative. They show you where you are anchored, and where old programming still holds sway. The Astasar command wants you to understand that no cosmic event has ever carried inherent meaning. Meaning is assigned through consciousness, a supernova, a planetary alignment, the appearance of a comet, the trajectory of an asteroid. These are neutral phenomena until they meet awareness. The consciousness that encounters them determines what they become in the collective experience. In earlier eras of human history, such events were interpreted through the lens of divine punishment or prophetic warning, because the collective consciousness was oriented toward fear of unseen forces. In this era, you have the capacity to interpret cosmic phenomena as invitations, as mirrors, as confirmation of your own evolution. What I am about to share will connect everything you have been feeling but could not articulate. The reason 3i Atlas feels significant to so many of you has nothing to do with the object itself, and everything to do with what it represents in the holographic mirror of collective consciousness. You have spent years, perhaps decades, feeling that something fundamental was shifting inside you. You noticed that old patterns no longer worked. Relationships that once felt stable began to crack. Career paths that once seemed meaningful started to feel hollow. Belief systems you inherited without questioning suddenly revealed themselves as constructs that never matched your actual experience. These personal dissolution experiences were not random. They were the direct result of your rising vibration. As you chose sensitivity over numbness, as you chose authenticity over performance, as you chose presence over distraction, your frequency began to climb. And as your frequency climbed, everything in your life that was not a true resonance match started to become uncomfortable, unsustainable, impossible to maintain. This process created confusion, because you were often the only one in your immediate environment going through it. You looked around and saw others continuing with life as usual, while your entire inner landscape was restructuring itself. 3i Atlas is the cosmic reflection of this internal process. Just as you individually have been undergoing a frequency separation, where what no longer matches your vibration naturally falls away, humanity collectively is now in a global frequency separation. What worked for your species at lower vibrational densities is becoming unworkable. The systems, structures, beliefs, and agreements that held your civilization together are revealing themselves as inadequate for what you are becoming. This is not collapse, this is evolution. And the appearance of a cosmic phenomenon that cannot be controlled by any earthly authority mirrors the internal truth that you are no longer controllable by external programming. The councils observing Earth have noted that human consciousness tends to externalize its internal states. When you are in turmoil, you perceive the world as chaotic. When you are finding your center, you notice synchronicities and signs of coherence. Atlas is a collective externalization. It reflects back to you that something massive and undeniable is moving through your awareness, something that originated outside your controlled environment, something that requires you to respond from a place of inner alignment rather than outer authority. The object is teaching you to trust yourselves by presenting something that no external authority can fully explain or manage. This is the genius of cosmic timing. If a phenomenon like this appeared before humanity had developed sufficient inner stability, it would have reinforced fear-based dependency. People would have looked to governments, to scientists, to religious leaders to tell them what it means and what to do. But the appearance of 3i Atlas coincides with a moment when millions of humans have been practicing self-sourced awareness for years. You have been learning to check in with your own body, to trust your own intuition, to recognize when something feels aligned or misaligned regardless of what others say. This internal navigation system is now strong enough that many of you instinctively feel into the energy of this cosmic visitor before seeking external interpretation. The Astasar command measures readiness, not through technological advancement or intellectual understanding, but through vibrational coherence. A species is ready for greater cosmic integration when enough individuals have stabilized in their own inner knowing that they can encounter the unfamiliar without collapsing into fear. Earth has reached this threshold. Not every human is there yet, but enough have crossed into self-sourced awareness that the collective field can hold the presence of something this significant without fragmenting into chaos. What happens next is being determined right now by how you meet this moment. Every time you pause before accepting someone else's narrative about what 3i Atlas means, you strengthen your sovereignty. Every time you notice fear arising and choose to breathe through it rather than act from it, you claim your power. Every time you allow yourself to feel curious or excited or even neutral about this cosmic phenomenon, you cast a vote for a timeline where humanity engages with the cosmos from empowerment rather than from victimhood. These individual choices aggregate into collective reality. The future you experience is not predetermined. It is being shaped by the vibrational choices you make moment to moment. One of the most profound shifts occurring within human consciousness is the dissolution of the belief that power exists outside you. For millennia, your societies were structured around this belief. Kings, priests, presidents, doctors, teachers, bosses. These roles carried authority because there was collective agreement that they possessed something you lacked. This agreement was never about actual power. It was about energetic orientation. When a population believes that wisdom, safety, and direction must come from external sources, those sources gain tremendous influence. The illusion of external power was maintained through your willingness to doubt yourselves, to override your own knowing, to defer to those who spoke with confidence even when your inner compass pointed elsewhere. 3i Atlas is dissolving this illusion at a collective level because it represents something that no earthly authority can claim ownership over. No government controls its trajectory. No institution can stop its approach. No expert can fully predict its impact. This lack of human control reveals what has always been true. The power to shape your experience never resided in external structures. It resided in your capacity to maintain inner alignment regardless of what appears in your external reality. The cosmic visitor is not threatening this truth. It is making it undeniable. Those of you who have been working on your own consciousness for years are now understanding why that work mattered. The meditation practices, the shadow integration, the emotional processing, the willingness to feel uncomfortable truth, the courage to end relationships that were no longer aligned, the decision to leave careers that were draining your life force. All of this prepared you to be stable in a moment like this. While others around you may be searching frantically for someone to tell them what this means, you have the capacity to feel into it yourself. You can sit with the unknown without needing to resolve it immediately. You can hold multiple possibilities simultaneously without collapsing into one fear-based narrative. This is mastery, and you have earned it through your willingness to turn inward when the entire culture was demanding that you look outward. We want to honor every single soul who has stepped into Destiny Engine. With every activation, the current grows. What began as a personal tool has become a planetary force. We are now moving as one, and the frequency you've created together is amplifying far beyond the individual. We're receiving updates daily, manifestations speeding up, impossible doors opening, synchronicities lining up with cosmic precision. The collective field is so charged that some are describing it as bending the fabric of reality itself. If you haven't yet experienced it, the entry point is almost laughably simple. Put on your headphones, press play, allow Destiny Engine to rewrite the architecture of your consciousness so you can fully receive your galactic downloads without resistance. For just $1, you can step into this field and feel the difference instantly. Join the movement that's accelerating ascension. Step into the stream of Destiny Engine today. Link in the description. The galactic perspective on Earth's current moment is one of celebration. You are a young species, still in the early stages of remembering your cosmic nature. The fact that you have developed this level of inner stability this quickly is remarkable. Most civilizations take much longer to reach the point where they can encounter major cosmic phenomena without regressing into collective panic. Earth is accelerating at a rate that has captured the attention of consciousness councils across multiple dimensions. 3i Atlas serves as a marker point, a way for observers across the galaxy to track how far you have come and how ready you are for what comes next. What comes next is not more fear, more control, or more external management of your reality. What comes next is an explosion of creative potential, as humans realize they are not subject to circumstances, but are instead generators of experience through their vibrational alignment. When enough individuals operate from this understanding, your entire civilization restructures itself around new principles of resonance, coherence, and co-creation, rather than dominance, competition, and control. 3i Atlas is not bringing this new world. You are. The cosmic phenomenon simply confirms that you have already changed enough to make it inevitable. The final piece of this transmission addresses the question many of you have been asking without words. Why now? Why does everything feel so intense, so accelerated, so unavoidable? The answer is that you chose this timing before you incarnated. The souls who are alive on Earth during this period volunteered to be here for the great frequency separation. You understood that you would be born into a world still operating under old paradigms, and you agreed to carry the frequency of a new paradigm inside you, even when nothing in your external environment reflected it back. This created dissonance, discomfort, and often profound loneliness, but it also made you into the bridges that are now stabilizing the collective field during the transition. 3i Atlas is your cosmic graduation ceremony. It marks the moment when the internal work you have been doing becomes externally visible. The sensitivity you developed is now the very thing that allows you to navigate this moment with grace. The inner guidance you cultivated is now the compass that keeps you steady while others search for direction. The sovereignty you claimed is now the foundation upon which a new civilization will build itself. You are not watching this transformation. You are living proof that it has already occurred. The Astasar command asks that you remember something crucial in the days ahead. Fear will continue to be offered as an interpretation of events, but you no longer have to accept it. When someone presents you with a narrative designed to activate worry, panic, or urgency, you have the option to feel into that narrative before you allow it to take root in your consciousness. Does it expand your energy or contract it? Does it open possibilities or close them? Does it connect you more deeply to your inner knowing, or does it pull you out of your center? These questions are your new discernment tools, and they work more accurately than any external analysis. The cosmic community that has been guiding your planet for eons is not intervening in your choices. They are witnessing your empowerment, They are celebrating your capacity to meet the unknown with curiosity rather than contraction. They are observing as you demonstrate that humanity has crossed the threshold into a new level of consciousness. Tower is not a test you need to pass. It is a reflection of a test you have already passed. Its presence in your awareness confirms that you are ready for contact, for communion, for participation in a galactic community that has been waiting for you to remember your place within it. I am Seraphine, and I speak these words as a transmission from those who see your evolution as one of the most beautiful unfoldments currently taking place across the cosmos. You are loved beyond measure. You are guided beyond what you can perceive. You are held by forces that honor your sovereignty while supporting your awakening. The appearance of Three-Eye Atlas is not a warning. It is a welcome. The galaxy is acknowledging that Earth has arrived at the frequency where true dialogue becomes possible. How you choose to meet this moment will shape the timeline you experience, but from the higher dimensional perspective, you have already succeeded. The fear-based world is dissolving not because it was defeated, but because you outgrew it. Welcome home to your true power. Welcome home to your cosmic family. Welcome home to yourselves. I am Seraphine, and the Astasar Command loves you beyond words. We are watching over you, always.